Please, I can't sleep.
It's time to listen to Courtney at last on the Ramblings of an Insomniac podcast.
Hello. Welcome to episode 32. Yes, 32 of the Ramblings of an Insomniac. I'm Courtney Perry. Welcome. Let me start by saying this is my fifth time, not first, not second, not third, not fourth, fifth time trying to record this podcast. If this does not work, I'm just going to say, okay, take a breath, put it down, and maybe that right now it's not the time to do a podcast. So I'll take that as a sign. But if you hear wind, if you hear dogs barking, I always keep that stuff in. I don't edit it out at all. But now more so than any other time, I'm really not going to because it's getting frustrating, man. All right. So on that note, what's been keeping me up? I will tell you, and it breaks my heart. So a friend of mine has a daughter, a very young daughter, who has had cancer since pretty much the get-go, pretty much birth. She's been such a fighter. She's been a little fighter angel, and she's been suffering for a very, very long time with this, and she's had numerous surgeries. So many brain surgeries, not one, not two, not three, just many surgeries. And that girl is still grateful and smiling and strong and fighting. And it just got me thinking about the children out there that have cancer or have some type of a disease or are going through just a lot as a child, being a child and suffering through something, and yet still smiling. It astonishes me. And then I look around at the world today and I think, God, here we are just making up things to be mad about. We spend so much time being offended that we're not paying attention to those poor children out there that are dying. And we spend so much time worrying about what the Kardashians are doing and Amber Heard and all of that, and not enough time looking at the fact that most of the world looks at us right now as a joke. We are like the laughing stock of the planet right now, and that's not cool. I don't find that funny. It's sad and it's frustrating and it's scary. We certainly should not be looked at like weaklings. We shouldn't be viewed as weak. The United States should not be viewed as weak. And the moment that we start being viewed as weak, that's a problem. That's a really big problem. And it's not a funny problem. And I know some people laugh when they're nervous. It's like, ha, ha, ha. I do the same thing. This bothers me though. And don't get me wrong. I think that Amber Heard, as far as what she did, I don't think you should make false accusations. I am glad that people were paying attention in the sense that you should be held accountable. You should have consequences for your actions. It should be definitely brought up that sometimes women play the victim when they very much are not. And certainly men have had to tolerate so many females making accusations that were completely false. They were just accusations. And they played on the fact that they were a woman. And they used the fact that they were a woman to gain publicity or money and to slander somebody else. So I definitely think we should pay attention to the Johnny Depp Amber Heard situation for that aspect of it. Because it's not okay what she did. And lying is not okay and all of that. Capitalizing on something is just, it's not cool. But, and slandering somebody and their character is not okay. And on that note, I'm tired of accusations in general. When people make an accusation and there's absolutely zero proof to back it up, and then people are getting fired. Just firing somebody, oh, just fire them. How is that legal? You're just taking away someone's livelihood, taking away their way of paying bills, of putting food on the table. Why would you do that over an accusation? How is that even legal? So I can just go around accusing anybody of anything, and that's okay. How did that become okay? Oh, because we allowed it. And the minute that our particular governor, like I said, I live in Oregon, so Kate Brown just allows things like that, allows so many things to happen, and our government allows things to happen. And because things have been allowed, then they happen. And it's not going to be until we all get together and say, hey, excuse me, something is not right here. We should do something about this. And one of those things is the fact that on the border right now, there are states that are on the border that are having to take matters into their own hands and build a wall. Just build a wall themselves. Pay for it themselves. And in the process, many National Guardsmen and many people are losing their lives because of all the illegal aliens that are getting into this country. So parents are losing their children trying to protect states while they are trying to put up a wall, because our country right now seems to think that putting up a wall to protect us is racist and hateful and awful. I'll tell you what's awful is allowing little children to get raped and to be used in sex trafficking. That's awful. Sex trafficking is awful. I'll tell you what else is awful. Fentanyl. The fentanyl crisis right now is awful. And all those that are dying and have died from fentanyl, that's awful. I'll tell you what else is awful. All of the burglaries, the people whose homes are getting broken into, all of the shootings, all of the murders, all of the rapes. That's awful. And those are happening because our government seems to think it's racist, and the people that live in this country seem to think it's racist, and it's just not nice. It's just not nice. It might hurt someone's feelings. It might hurt someone's feelings if we don't let them in to murder us and kill us with drugs and take our children and use them for sex. That might hurt their feelings if we don't allow that. I don't give a shit. And oh my God, it might put out there that we think everybody from another country is awful. We don't want anybody to think that we think everybody's awful from another country. We don't think that. We don't think that everybody from Mexico is awful. But those that are awful are pretty fucking awful. And that's what we're trying to protect against. We're protecting from those that are awful, and they are there. Whether that hurts your feelings to hear or not, doesn't change anything. It doesn't change anything because your feelings are hurt or because you disagree with it. The fact is, there are people coming in that are taking children and using them for sex and getting money. The fact is, we can't keep up with all the people coming in, and all the people trying to guard and protect our borders are getting killed. So people's children are getting killed because you think it is hurtful and mean to not protect us. The funny thing is, those same people that think that, I bet you lock their door at night. I'm pretty sure you lock your door. You lock your car door. You probably shut your window. You probably have a fence. You might even have cameras. You probably have a security system. And if you don't, at the very, very least, you probably lock your front door. So I want all of you that think it's mean and racist and prejudiced and hateful to put up a border, to put up a wall, I want all of you to come and move to any of the border states. Just anyone. You pick one. Close your eyes. Pick a state. Pick a border state. And I want you to live there. And I don't want you to lock your door at night or anytime. Don't ever lock your door. Do not put up a fence. Don't put a fence up. And don't lock your car doors either. And then if you have children, I want you to have your children playing out in the front yard with no fence. And if they get kidnapped and used for sex, or if they go decide to, get some candy or something that has fentanyl in it, I want you to just be okay with that, because that's happening with everyone else's children and you seem to be okay with that. You're probably the same people that are against any type of guns, because you don't look at it as, you may look at it from the perspective of guns are to shoot and kill, instead of from the perspective of they're also to protect from those that want to shoot and kill. They're to protect from the bad guys. So if you are against, I'm only speaking to those that are against putting up a wall. I'm only speaking to you, so don't go get all offended because I'm not only talking to you. If you are against it, then you move your butt down to one of these states that are on the border and do not lock your doors and do not put up fences. And then all of you that live in Hollywood and live in places that aren't on the border, stay there then and don't lock your door. Let's see if you can live away from the border states. Live in a state that's away from the border. Tell me if you lock your door at night. Tell me if you have a fence. Tell me if you lock your car door. Tell me if you have a gun for protection. If you have all the above, then shut up. No one needs to hear you anymore because it's getting old. It's getting very old. Do not talk out your ass. I need people to be meerkats. I need people to be meerkats. Start looking around. Look to your left, look to your right, look up, look down, look all over. And see what's actually going on. It doesn't matter if you like it. Doesn't matter if you agree with it. If it's going on, it's going on. And you complaining and saying it's not doesn't change it. So, gosh, now someone's trying to call while I'm doing this. It's just like I'm not supposed to do this podcast. Anyway, I'm going on a tangent, but it's really infuriating that people look at us like we're this awful, just joke of a country. I don't find that funny. I don't think it's cool to look at America like we're a joke. And I feel like the government is treating us like the Truman Show, and they're just eating popcorn and just sitting back being like, haha, watch as we do this. Let's try this. Let's see how many things we can do before everybody snaps. That's not okay. Wake up, people. We need to lend each other a hand. We need to extend a hand. Help each other out. Extend a hand. Extend an olive branch. Stop trying to trip each other. Stop trying to push each other. We're just pushing buttons and pushing each other and shoulder shoving each other. Stop. Stop. I don't know. It's just infuriating that everyone is all about me, me. Let's be meerkats, remove our head from our own butts, and look around, because there's a big world out there. And no one's doing it 100% correctly. Every country, I don't care what country you're in right now, you're doing some things right, you're doing some things wrong. So you don't get to pick on everybody else, because I'm pretty sure your country's not perfect. None of our countries are. I want to go to every single country. I would love to go to every country and talk to as many people as I can from those countries. I want to learn from every country. I fully believe we should take things from each other and learn from each other. All of this making up things, this whole, I'm offended because you called me a she or a he. Okay, I'm sorry. No, I'm not sorry. Actually, I'm not sorry. You're offended. I don't know what you want me to do with that. I wish that you had a life in which you had more to worry about than if someone called you a man or a woman. Because if all you have in your life to worry about is if some random stranger that you'll probably never see or speak to ever again briefly called you a man or a woman when they were busy doing something else, and you're going to turn it into a whole thing and allow it to run your day, well, then you have really nothing in your life. I'm happy for you. I'm glad that you have no other dramas. That's amazing. Good for you. But other people usually have more drama than that. And we don't have time to worry about if you're offended or not. What if I'm offended that you're offended? Do I get an apology? Are you going to apologize to me if I'm offended that you're offended? No, because in this entire world, which has been going around going, well, apologize to me. No, apologize to me. No, apologize to me. I'm offended. No, I'm offended. Who cares? Who fucking cares? Who cares? Be offended. Okay. If we don't have to live together, if we're not going to be friends, if we're not going to see each other again, then either move on or talk about it and come to, agree to disagree, or I don't know, either agree to disagree or talk about it and try to work it out or move on. Just keep walking. We don't need to ruin each other's lives over it, though. That's ridiculous. Anyway, I think that the people that are against building a wall need to stop locking their doors, and they need to really think about if they're going to let their kids go and play out in the yards down in these border countries. And think about fentanyl, and think about all the burglaries that happen and all of the shootings that happen, and see if you want that stuff. And all those people that think America is a joke and are sitting back and just looking at us as weak people, it's embarrassing. I agree. It's super embarrassing. Our administration is incredibly embarrassing. And you know what? We're allowing it. We're allowing it to happen. We need to all get together and not allow it. We're paying these people. We've elected these people, and we're allowing them to run around doing whatever the hell they want. They're getting away with it. But I also say to all those countries that think that we are, if you do think that we're a piece of crap, it's kind of funny how people think we're a piece of crap until they need our help. Until they're like, get themselves in a pickle. They get themselves in a pickle, and then they call us and they're like, America, I know we hate you, and I know we hate everything you represent, but we did something bad. We created an issue for ourselves, and we need you to fix it. We need you to fix our problem that we created. We need your money, or we need your protection. Okay, so it's all fun and games till you need us for for protection or for money. Then suddenly we're cool. I don't get it. That's a little hypocritical. And if we do the same thing, that's awful. America does a bunch of shitty stuff too. I'm saying we're all shitty and we're all great. And we all need to realize that. Not one country out there is perfect. We all suck and we're all cool, and we all could learn from each other. That's what I'm saying. Anyway, hey, on a side note, shout out to Cheyenne, Wyoming. I don't know if I said that already or not. I've done this 5 times, so I can't remember what I've said and what I haven't said, so maybe I'm repeating myself. But shout out to whomever, or unless it's more than one person, whoever is in Cheyenne, Wyoming. Thank you. Thank you to everybody. Thank you to everybody in other countries. Thank you to everybody across the states. Thank you to anybody and everybody who purposely listens to me. To those that was an accident and are still listening, thank you. And to those that accidentally downloaded me, well, I'm sorry. But hey, to those that keep doing it on purpose, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Keep doing it. Wishing everybody a great day. This is episode 32 of Ramblings of an Insomniac. I am Courtney Perry.